What's up, Nerd Crew? Jimmy D here, or Nurdie J, however you want to call me. For our first video, we are going to be looking at Chair Maker. I decided let's do a fun little exercise just to get me back into the ropes of doing things, since it's been a good while since I've done a YouTube thing before. And I figured let's take a look at something that's kind of dear to me, and that's Transformers Generation 1, the 1984 cast, the toys, and essentially we are going to be looking at where would I place them. Like, at the time of being there, would I have bought multiples? Would I definitely have bought at least one? Maybe wait for whichever figure to come on sale. Would I eventually, like, after getting all the ones I wanted, would I wait till it comes out on a bargain or a clearance and not pay so much for a character that I don't really care about? Or would I leave it for somebody else to get, or just let it sit there and let it just stay there for however long? So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, I have the 1984 cast as far as I'm aware. The one that I'm not sure about per se is this guy right here, and this guy is called Bumble Jumper, or nowadays he's called Bumper, which, you know, is a good name and a good shorter version. And cars do have bumpers, so it kind of makes sense. I can't remember if he's 1984 or 1985. Every picture that I ever saw of him didn't have a rev symbol, so I'm pretty sure he's 1984. But let's get started. We are going to take a look at right here, Blue Streak. Blue Streak, he is a Datsun. A Fairlady Z is what I'm thinking he is. I'm not really good at cars, so I'm not going to name every single car. Just if I happen to remember, I'll do it. And essentially, as a kid, would I buy this? Now, for me, I'm going with as if I was a kid back in 1984. I wasn't born yet, but essentially, would I have played with this guy? And the answer is yes, but I wouldn't really want him too high because of his cannons would be a liability for me as a kid. I would probably fire him off and never find him ever again. So essentially, let's for now put as 100% buy, because it would definitely be on the high list of me wanting to buy some. It's just I don't know where he will ultimately end up, so I might change things in a little bit. So, next up is the mini car Brawn, a four-wheel drive Jeep, I believe. Now, the thing I have the issue with is, just based on the toy, is that he's got hooks for hands. He doesn't even have any actual hands, like, design. It's just these weird G kind of hooks. And, no real feet, and he's got no real face. So I would probably wait for him to be on clearance, mainly just because of the whole aesthetic of that they were going for. Now, Bumblebee came in two different colors. The red one, which is in like micro view right here, and then there is the traditional yellow and black, which is the one that I would prefer. But essentially, if I couldn't get that, the red one would definitely be a spare until I can get an actual yellow one, even like through eBay whenever that comes around. But Bumblebee, I really like. Love the battle mask, but it doesn't fit the friendly character of Bumblebee. So I would probably put him on a sale, just because the battle-hardened face mask. He's just not quite there yet. Bumble Jumper. Sorry, going with the old school name there. Bumper. He only came on a Cliff Jumper package. There might be some out there that was on a Bumblebee package, but every reference that I could find is on a Cliff Jumper, and I really like the uniqueness of the square little boxy car. I think he was a Mazda, but not 100% sure. And essentially, I like him. I would probably rate him a little bit higher from Bumblebee, mainly because I'm not really a Beetle fan. So um, I'm not going to go with that. Sorry about that. I just happened to go to my base bar. Next up is Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper also came in two different colors, yellow and red. Me personally, I would go with red because that would be show accurate / comic accurate, but just based off the toy, I wouldn't have any connection to one color or the other. So I would probably put him about higher because I like the head design. I like the little spoiler. He's a little boxy car again, so I kind of like that. All right, so essentially we are coming down to Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker, honestly, I would really love it to get him as a kid, but he has tons of loose accessories that would go nowhere in alt mode. At least as far as I could tell from the box art, and owning him currently, yeah, there's just no place for it. So essentially, with spring-loaded gimmicks and stuff, I would love to have had him, but it might be a case of him being there for a good while before I can pick him up. Wait till I'm a few years older or something if he's still available. Gears. Gears, I would say, is okay. I like the blue and red and silver. Not really a big fan of the face. It's a very generic face. Pickup truck. If I couldn't have Trailbreaker, I might make Gears my Trailbreaker. But he's very generic. So he would probably wait on sale, but he would definitely be one of those that I'd pick up right away. Hound. Hound, I would probably try and pick up as soon as I could. I wouldn't probably attach the little cannon up here and just keep it in box or something at that point. My biggest fear is the windshield. The windshield doesn't really go anywhere. It folds onto his back. And then, essentially, the accessories aren't necessary for him, unless you want to complete the aesthetic, like the shoulder-mounted cannon or else the machine gun, if you want to complete the aesthetic. But if you're just in it for the Jeep mode, not a bad figure. The clear plastic hinges on the window is kind of scary, especially where it has like a little friction area. But buying that, I would definitely buy him before I buy Cliff Jumper. Just because I wouldn't need the accessories. Okay, Huffer. Huffer I have an issue with, even though I own him, and that's his arms. His arms are perpetually like bent forward in a really awkward position. And when you raise them, they go above his head. Not the biggest fan of that. Honestly, I would probably put him at my lowest of getting any of them. But I will still get them. I'm a completionist, but there might be some cases where I will put somebody as a peg warmer. Ironhide. Really like Ironhide, honestly. Even with his sticker face and stuff. I love the ski thing that is his battle platform. Like that. I would probably buy him, but I would probably wait until after I get Bumblebee. Just because of the accessories and stuff like that. Speaking of accessories, Jazz. Jazz doesn't need any accessories. He doesn't need a shoulder-mounted cannon. Doesn't need his gun. Fully transformed without any assistance. This one, I would probably buy two. I love Jazz. I love his Porsche mode. I just love Jazz from the first wave. I love the voice actor too. Scatman Crothers, he was really good. And honestly, it's really hard to find somebody that can pull off a good Jazz nowadays. Mirage. Mirage, I would say, would be a higher tier. Wouldn't need the accessories per se. And essentially, the Formula One, I kind of like it. I kind of dig the robot mode. He would definitely be a high buy. Probably higher than Blue Streak. Now, Optimus Prime. Never been a big fan of the toy. And I own multiples of that toy, but at the same time, I just don't like how the trailer just doesn't do anything in robot mode. It's got like a lot of accessories, gas pumps, a roller unit, missiles, the gun, the fists, and you need the fists in order to transform them. And honestly, the price that he was compared to everybody else, I might. It's a real toss up. Do I put him before Huffer or after Huffer? Because yes, I would need the Autobot leader, but I could probably supplement him with Huffer, ultimately. With that in mind, he's probably going to be the lowest. And now, I really like the rescue vehicles. And my favorite of all the rescue vehicles so far that I can think of, especially in the first wave, is Prowl. Prowl doesn't need his accessories. I'd probably find a way to not have the missiles, like, let's say, to be like the cartoon. But, he would definitely be one of those because of the white plastic syndrome and stuff by 2, just to be on the safe side. Actually, I probably, since I'm looking at Mirage, I'm probably going to put him lower than Mirage, mainly because of the accessories. And being a kid, I wouldn't know better. Speaking of that again, Ratchet. Ratchet, I really love. I am a fan of the ambulance mode. I'm a fan of the medic bay. Actually, I just don't have a problem with him as many people do. He's a bare bones kind of robot, sure, but I'd probably wait a little before getting him. And, so he would probably be a first purchase, sure, but if I can only afford, like, maybe one of these guys, I might do that and then might have to pass up until I can afford him again. But I wouldn't wait till he's on sale. Sideswipe. Sideswipe's really cool. Not the biggest fan of the color scheme, to be honest. And the Lamborghini Countach works for him. I honestly don't really have anything bad to say about him. I would probably buy him before I buy Hound. Just saying it. Now Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker, his brother, yet another Lamborghini Countach, custom of some sort. That he's got missile hands, and then you can replace the missile hands with missiles. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But he has such a unique transformation. I would probably, if I could, find a way to transform him with it, even though there's no way around it. But I would probably buy him somewhere in between Bumper and Bumblebee. Wheeljack. Wheeljack I really like. I own a KO of him currently because he's just too darn expensive. And I just have issues with that one. But as a figure and just what I'm seeing, I really like the car. I don't like how he doesn't have any eyes. It's just this big face mask over his entire face. He's got gorilla arms that I can live with or without. It's just more like a stability thing. He doesn't look very stable. So I would probably put him, just because he's made out of white plastic, because of the aesthetics are weird, I'd probably put him above Braun. Now, Windcharger, the final guy of this list. Windcharger, I would probably put pretty high. Wouldn't wait until he's on sale. He would be my first small guy. But he would probably be at the end of my top of the list. Buying at least one. Now let's take a look. Definitely Jess is going to be more than one. Yeah, so far so good on everybody there. Now, I might actually pick up Sideswipe before. I might pick up Sideswipe before it goes on sale, just because it looks clean and just really like the alt mode. You know what? I'm going to put Bumper higher up on this because of just, the average cheapness of those guys, of the small guys, compared to the more expensive stuff. I kind of wanted to put him and Cliffjumper in the 100% buy. But since I don't own a Bumper at all, and he's highly expensive, even the knockoff is expensive if you can even find it. But I will put Cliffjumper up at the bottom, just so I have one of those three easy to transform, same transformation kind of guys there. I'd probably put you there. Sorry, Gears is going to go on sale. You know what? I'll probably put Wheeljack on sale too, and compare it to it at clearance. So, this is my list. What would yours look like? Yeah. And so, essentially, please go to tiermaker.com. Sign in. You'll have to sign in through Twitter to use it. But sign in and take a snapshot of the final product and send it to me to Twitter, and I'll check it there. With that said, I've been Nurdie J /Jamie D for Nurdie Boys, and I'll catch you next time.